The haunted dorm. The moon hung low in the ink-black sky, casting an eerie pallor over the college campus. Shadows danced like malevolent spirits on the walls of the old dormitory, a looming relic of a bygone era. Students called it the cursed dorm, a place where nightmares came to life. Few knew the chilling truth: the dorm was built upon land tainted by a sinister secret society. Centuries ago, in the heart of what would become the college campus, a secret society known as the Ebon Circle had gathered. They were a cabal of powerful individuals, their ambitions as dark as the abyss itself. They consorted with the arcane, practicing forbidden rituals and invoking malevolent entities to gain dominion over life and death. The land was cursed long before the college's foundation was laid. As the years passed, the society's power grew, and their rituals became more unholy. On one fateful night, as an ominous storm raged, they conducted their most maleficent ceremony yet. They unleashed a force they could not control, a grotesque amalgamation of souls, driven to torment the living. The ground itself trembled in protest, and the earth swallowed the society's mansion whole, leaving behind an accursed void. When the college was built on the tainted ground, the dormitory took its place atop the cursed remnants of the secret society's mansion. Students, blissfully unaware of the dark history, moved in, and the nightmares began. The first to feel the dorm's sinister presence was Sarah, a timid freshman with a penchant for the supernatural. She had chosen the cursed dorm for its eerie reputation, hoping to capture evidence of the paranormal for her blog. The night she moved in, she felt a chill seep into her bones, as if 1,000 icy fingers reached out to her. A shadowy figure lurked in the corner of her room, its form shifting and undulating like smoke. The entity whispered unholy incantations into her ears as she slept, weaving nightmares that blurred the line between reality and the macabre. Sarah's screams echoed through the hallways, waking her terrified neighbors, who could only listen in horror as her sanity unraveled. As the days passed, more students experienced the dorm's malevolent presence. Strange apparitions roamed the corridors at night, their eyes vacant and their movements ethereal. Unearthly sounds echoed through the walls, the whispers of long-dead members of the Ebon Circle who sought to ensnare the living in their cursed domain. One night, as a group of brave students gathered in the common room, they decided to delve into the dorm's dark history. Researching old archives and dusty tomes, they uncovered the truth about the secret society and the curse that bound the dorm. Panic gripped them as they realized that the spirits tormenting them were the vengeful remnants of the Ebon Circle. Desperation led them to seek out the only professor who had studied the occult and survived. Professor Nathaniel Whitman was a reclusive scholar with knowledge of ancient rituals and dark magic. He agreed to help, but his eyes bore the weight of countless horrors he had witnessed. In a solemn ceremony, Professor Whitman and the students attempted to confront the malevolent spirits. The dorm quaked, and the walls seemed to bleed. The apparitions grew furious, their ghostly forms coalescing into a nightmarish specter that loomed over the group. With sheer determination and incantations invoking powers beyond comprehension, Professor Whitman managed to contain the vengeful spirits and bind them within a cursed sigil. The dormitory's malevolence subsided, and the students were free from the relentless torment. But they knew it was only a temporary respite. The cursed land still lay beneath, and the Ebon Circle's dark influence endured. As the years passed, the cursed dorm became a place of whispered legends and cautionary tales, avoided by those who valued their sanity. The college, built upon a foundation of secrets and malevolence, carried its own dark legacy. But some secrets are too powerful to remain buried. As the moon hung low in the ink-black sky, the cursed dorm awaited the next generation of unwitting students, its dark history ready to repeat itself. The Ebon Circle's curse lingered, a malevolent specter that would forever haunt the land and those who dared to tread upon it, ensuring that the dormitory's twisted story would continue to be told, generation after generation, in hushed tones and fearful whispers. Decades had passed since the night Professor Nathaniel Whitman and the students had managed to bind the vengeful spirits within the cursed sigil, and the campus had evolved. New buildings had risen, modern facilities had replaced the old, but the cursed dorm still stood, a sinister relic of the past. The horrors that had been contained within its walls were not forgotten, but they had faded into the distant realm of college folklore. Among the incoming students, a young woman named Emily had a curiosity as insatiable as Sarah's had been years ago. Drawn by tales of the cursed dorm, she chose to take up residence there, much to the chagrin of her concerned friends. They pleaded with her to reconsider, recounting the grim stories of students who had vanished or emerged from the cursed dorm as hollow shells of their former selves. Emily was undeterred. Armed with the knowledge of the dorm's dark past and determined to capture evidence of the supernatural, she embarked on her own investigation. Armed with cameras, audio recorders, and a dog-eared book on paranormal investigations, Emily moved into the room where Sarah's nightmares had begun. The first night was uneventful. Emily's camera captured nothing out of the ordinary, and her audio recordings yielded only the usual sounds of a college dormitory at night, the muffled laughter of late-night conversations and the occasional footsteps in the hallway. But as the days turned into weeks, Emily's persistence began to yield results. Strange apparitions appeared in her photos, their forms indistinct yet undeniably otherworldly. Unseen hands tugged at her blankets during the night, and whispers filled her room, echoing the tormenting incantations of the Ebon Circle. Emily's obsession grew as she delved deeper into the cursed dorm's history. She uncovered hidden passages in the university archives, letters that spoke of the secret society's desire for immortality, and a hidden chamber beneath the dorm itself where the Ebon Circle had conducted their most maleficent rituals. It was said that the cursed sigil Professor Whitman had created still lay dormant, its power undiminished. One fateful night, as Emily ventured into the underground chamber, she stumbled upon an ancient tome, bound in rotting leather and filled with cryptic incantations. Unbeknownst to her, her actions had awakened the dormant sigil. The room trembled, and the ground cracked, revealing a pit leading into darkness. Emily descended into the abyss, the words of the Ebon Circle's unholy rituals etched into her mind. As she reached the bottom, she found herself in a cavern bathed in an eerie, green light. The vengeful spirits of the secret society surrounded her, their spectral forms twisted by centuries of rage. Desperation turned to terror as Emily realized the magnitude of her mistake. The spirits sought revenge for their imprisonment, and they would stop at nothing to reclaim their power. They whispered their incantations through her, using her as a conduit to break free from their prison. The cursed dorm shook with a malevolent force, awakening the memories of Professor Whitman and the surviving students from years past. They rushed to the scene, their faces etched with dread as they confronted the unleashed spirits. The sigil, now shattered, released its captive horrors back into the world. A harrowing battle ensued, a clash between the living and the vengeful dead. Professor Whitman, his eyes filled with both regret and determination, used the knowledge he had gained over the years to combat the malevolent forces. The students, now experienced in the ways of the supernatural, joined the fight. As the confrontation reached its climax, Emily, drained of her strength, managed to recite the same incantations from the ancient tome that had bound the spirits to the sigil. With a blinding flash of light, the vengeful entities were once again imprisoned, their tormented wails echoing through the cavern. But this time, Emily paid a heavy price. Her body, no longer able to contain the dark energies, was consumed by the malevolence she had unwittingly unleashed. Her sacrifice allowed Professor Whitman to reinforce the sigil and seal the cursed dorm's underground chamber for good. The cursed dorm, once again dormant, stood as a solemn reminder of the horrors that lurked beneath. Emily's story joined the grim annals of the college's history, a warning to those who dared to seek out the supernatural. The campus moved on, but the cursed dorm remained unchanged, a sentinel of darkness. Its haunted legacy persisted, ensuring that the secrets of the Ebon Circle would never be forgotten, and that the dormitory's dark past would continue to haunt the dreams of those who dared to venture within its walls. Years had passed since the night Emily's sacrifice had once again sealed the vengeful spirits within the cursed sigil beneath the dormitory. The memories of the horrors that had unfolded there were fading, and a new generation of students had come and gone, unaware of the malevolent force that lurked beneath the building's foundations. However, the echoes of the Ebon Circle's dark legacy still reverberated through the campus. An unlikely group of individuals, each touched by the dorm's curse in some way, had come together to unravel the secrets and end the curse once and for all. Among them was Sarah, the timid freshman whose life had been shattered by the malevolent spirits years ago. She had since become a paranormal investigator, driven by a thirst for answers and a desire to protect others from the horrors she had endured. She had been haunted by the memory of the cursed dorm and was determined to free it from its dark past. Also, among the group was Professor Nathaniel Whitman, now an elderly man whose life had been consumed by the pursuit of knowledge about the Ebon Circle and their dark rituals. He had grown obsessed with finding a way to permanently seal the cursed sigil and put an end to the haunting once and for all. The final member of the group was a descendant of one of the Ebon Circle's original members, a young woman named Isabella. She carried the burden of her family's dark history and was determined to atone for the sins of her ancestors. She had discovered an ancient journal that contained the secrets of the society's rituals and believed it held the key to breaking the curse. Together, they formed an unlikely alliance, driven by a common purpose. Armed with knowledge, determination, and a plan, they ventured into the depths of the cursed dormitory, facing the malevolent spirits that still lingered. The underground chamber was just as they had left it, frozen in time. The sigil, though shattered, still retained some of its power. As they approached it, they could feel the malevolence of the vengeful spirits, their whispers growing louder and more insistent. Isabella began to recite the incantations from the ancient journal, her voice trembling with a mixture of fear and determination. The room trembled, and the ground cracked once again, but this time, it was not the spirits breaking free, it was the curse itself unraveling. The spirits let out one final, mournful wail as they were banished from the mortal realm forever. The room grew still, and the green light that had bathed the chamber faded away. The cursed sigil was no more. Outside the dormitory, the sun broke through the clouds, casting a warm, golden glow over the campus. The curse had been lifted, and the dormitory, once a place of nightmares, was finally at peace. As the group emerged from the dormitory, they knew that the dark legacy of the Ebon Circle had been vanquished. The campus could finally move forward, free from the shadows of its haunted past. Professor Whitman, his eyes filled with relief, turned to Sarah and Isabella. "You have done what I could not," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. "You have put an end to the curse and ensured that the horrors of the Ebon Circle will trouble this place no more." With the curse lifted, the campus began to thrive in ways it never had before. The cursed dormitory, once shunned and feared, was transformed into a symbol of triumph over darkness. Students moved in without hesitation, and the building itself seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. But the memory of the curse and the sacrifices made to end it were not forgotten. A plaque was placed in the dormitory's common room, honoring those who had faced the horrors of the past and brought an end to the curse. It served as a solemn reminder that even in the face of the darkest of secrets, there could be hope, redemption, and the power to break free from the chains of the past. And so, the cursed dormitory stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of unity and knowledge. The campus moved forward, forever changed by the events that had unfolded within its walls, but now free from the malevolent forces that had once haunted its very foundations.